I am Geoffrey in the Kingdom of Sweden campaign from the 1648 30 Years of War mod for Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms by Infractor. So we are in November of 1631. We have purchased Libar from the Protestant Union and Arnsburg in Estonia from the Kingdom of Denmark. Now, Arnsburg is on an island off the coast of Estonia, and it is the only place where you can recruit these wonderful-looking Livonian other caste cuirassiers. It is one of the best-looking units in the game, and you never see them in the game because they can only be recruited on this island, on the very corner of the map. So I have a plan. When I go back to my Invader Cell mode, hopefully soon, to give this unit to the Imperialists. They look very Imperialist looking, they don't look very much Swedish. And so I'm going to give them to the Imperialists, potentially also to the Catholic League, and they're going to have this unit, and they're going to call them something else, obviously. And I may also rearrange the mercenaries, so there are these various regiments, like Regiment Lippe and so on. You very often find the same regiment, let's say Regiment Lippe, fighting on both sides. Now, Regiment Lippe, I think it was an Imperialist regiment, so there's no reason why the Protestants should be able to recruit it. So I'm going to rearrange a little bit the mercenaries as well, so that some regiments can only be recruited by Protestant factions or just by one particular nationality. Let's say the Dutch can only recruit a particular regiment, not everyone, because it was a Dutch regiment, so on. And so I may do a few things like that, but until then, let's continue with the campaign. So we are, as I said, November 1631, and a small Austrian imperialist force has attacked this place here in Saxony. They attack with 3 units of light musketeers and a unit of imperialist tertio pikemen, and we are defending with a lot of artillery. There was a lot of artillery in this particular settlement. It was there just for the free upkeep, and so now we can get to use it. And we have received reinforcements by General Derflinger. So here's General Derflinger. He's bringing into the battle some light musketeers and light pikemen, as well as some extra artillery. And so we have now an overwhelming force. And here's the situation. So the garrison is sallying out. And here's another thing that I want to change, if possible. I'm going to try. I don't know if I have seen this occasionally in a couple of battles, but it rarely happens that when you sally out, then the attacking army that was besieging, the besieging army, sometimes goes ahead with ladders and siege rams, whereas now they have abandoned them and just sit there passively waiting for their fate. And so it would have made more sense, of course, if they had a slightly bigger army, to actually send some of those men into the town while maybe the cavalry skirmishes outside. What they're doing right now, right here, is they're attacking my main line that has deployed outside, and they're outnumbered, and they're just attacking because they've been provoked by fire from artillery. So here is that Imperial Tertio, and they're suffering heavy casualties. Their commander, Captain Fritz, has been slain. The Imperialist Tertio continues, but they are very slow moving, this pikemen, which is realistic. But they're being destroyed because they only have 1 unit of pikemen, and I'm shooting at them with so many musketeer units. This is not ideal. If it was a full army, this would have made more sense, but for a single unit of pikemen attacking so many musketeers, so much artillery, and the fire from the walls, that's also not ideal. I wish the battle AI was slightly more moddable. It's fairly moddable, but sometimes you don't have the kinds of options you'd like to have. Especially in situations like this, like you can make, let's say, cavalry attack artillery or something. But there are situations you don't want cavalry to attack artillery or whatever. You don't want, let's say, pikemen to attack friendly players, infantry. Maybe you want, in a situation like this, you want them perhaps to go onto the walls. Anyway, whatever. it's not so moldable. So it's very moldable, but up to a point. So our enemy has been defeated. We had a couple of units of pikemen, and they're off chasing the retreating army. The only cavalry we have is that of our generals, and hopefully our generals will be attacking them. Our artillery keep hitting them. There's hardly anyone who has survived this battle. And so now, what are these? Grenadiers, are they? Or are they musketeers? They're running after the retreating enemy. And here's the enemy. They have retreated. They're running for their lives. And finally our generals are here to take as many of them prisoners as they can. They stayed out of the way for a while because our artillery was still shooting at them. So that was a quick and easy victory. The odds were in our favor anyway.
This is a clear victory that goes to only men of great virtue and valor.
So we lost 74 men. The enemy army lost more than 10 times as many. And our late period musketeers did very well. This is another thing I want to do. I want to decrease the attack of late period musketeers from about 20, which is what it is now, to around 15 or 16, which is more realistic. I think 20 is a little too much. Okay. So, that was the first battle for today. There is more to come. There are 2 more battles, one major battle. Having once begun war, follow it with sword, fire, spoil, slaughter, till the earth be full, I think so. I think this may be satire on the 30 Years' War by Robert Monroe, rather than a real recommendation. Okay, so the Imperialists have not ransomed their prisoners, they're our prisoners, their men, they're taken prisoner. So they'll be sent to do some good work. Here's Siegfried Wienans. He's now gained a little bit in command or something after his victory. We're in the red, and we're in the red because of those Livonian other-caste cuirassiers that are costing the earth. We are the top faction militarily overall, so we're doing well in that way. We're ahead of the Kaiser at the moment. Here are our various generals. You see Axel Oxenstierna is one of the best generals in our army. It's a little bit strange. He was the Swedish Chancellor. There's no reason why he should be such a good general, but what can you do? He had a natural talent. So, okay. And our second in command is Johan Bernet. Of course, King Gustav Adolf, Lord of Terror, is our best general. And out in the east, in around Liegnitz in Silesia, we have a fort there that's been besieged. You can see at the top of the map there, on the top of this picture. We have 13 allies, all the Protestant factions, including the Principality of Transylvania, that hasn't done very much in this campaign. And we are thinking of maybe one of the settlements we're going to target for our final settlement to win this campaign could be Breslau. This is a very likely target, but at the moment it has a very strong garrison, as you see here, of very elite units and golden chevron and everything. These are like some of the best units the Imperialists can get. So it looks very hard, but doable, hopefully. The Imperialists have another full stack army here in this area, and they're moving towards Liegnitz, which is the place we are controlling in this part of the world. And as I said, here it is, that army is commanded by Hendrik von Wellen, probably, I think that's their commander. And a certain Captain Lucas with a reasonably nice army has attacked that fought there north of Liegnitz, which is defended by Georg von Brandenburg-Bayreuth. And this is the enemy army, and we are defending against this army. The enemy, I think, had quite a bit of cavalry. I'm not going to show the whole battle because it went like some of the previous ones you've seen, but it was a victory. You only lost 58 men. So we sallied from the side and we defeated the enemy army. We took a lot of prisoners, over 1,000 men. And the Imperialists did not ransom the prisoners, and so they'll be sent to build Protestant churches. We have a new general or governor. And here are again the rankings. So we are in top place. We are overall the best faction, but we're in the red. There is a spur of witch hunting at the moment. There was still witch hunting at this period in history. It was about to die out, but people were still hunted, ostensibly for being witches or whatever. Here is one of the events. There's a ton of very interesting events. Every month there is a new event. All of that courtesy of Monty, who was the project leader. And so on the 7th of December of 1631, Johannes Kepler predicts the first transit of Venus. And on the 16th of December, Mount Vesuvius erupted in Pompeii, killing 4,000 people. So we're in December 1631, this year is nearly over. It was a very eventful year. Johann Grudhusen feels appreciated. Something has decreased. His unappreciation has changed into appreciation. Here is Arnsberg. We have now some proper garrison units in Arnsberg. So we have disbanded some of those expensive cuirassiers. We've kept 4 units and sent a ship to ship those units to the front. And we have now a governor in Arnsberg, Carl Gustav Benzelstierna. God knows how I would pronounce this in Swedish or even in German. He's the Castellan of Usel. And we have also now a governor in Libau, the magistrate of Libau, Ericus von Sponheim. That's easier to say. And we have constructed all kinds of nice buildings, including some edicts of toleration. We have Protestant community in Erfurt newly conquered. We have a reformator in Libau. We have repaired some of the damaged buildings. There must have been some civil unrest in Arnsberg, so we have repaired Bell Foundry there. And as I said, we're on top of the rankings in terms of the area, number of provinces, the strongest faction overall and militarily. Here's Erfurt, where our king Gustav Adolf is based, and the Imperialists have some armies around here. Our spies gone to investigate. They have quite a few armies around this place called Mühlhausen. And they also had some armies hiding in the trees, but our spy has discovered them. They were laying in ambush. Well, their plan was foiled. Here's our king, Gustav Adolf.
They'll wish they'd never been born, sire! Victory!
And he's going to attack one of those forces that were laying in ambush in the trees.
Hail, my king! Orders. As you will, my king, to battle.
In the meantime, other armies are laying siege in various places around here. In what is today Poland, and so we have this place called Strasbourg, and we had a garrison in Strasbourg. Not a particularly good garrison, a decent one though, and they've been attacked by an army that has a ton of silver-chevroned hussars.
Honor and glory await England, men! Attack!
And so we're going to have another quick battle here. Well, maybe not so quick. This is going to be a long battle. So get some biscuits, some tea, whatever, pizza, whatever you like. So this battle is about to start. And we have our army here inside Strasbourg, which means a street fort in German. We brought our general outside and he started shooting at the enemy to provoke them to come nearer. There is a terrible weather, horrendous snow, a terrible snowstorm at the moment. You can hardly see anything. And so the Polish army has these musketeers, and they've come to within range of our unit, but they don't want to get too close to the walls. They're staying just out of range of the walls. They're being shot at by our general. Our general has retreated back into the town. The enemy doesn't want to come closer. They're staying at musket shot range. Neither side is shooting at the moment or is interested in doing anything. We're waiting for the storm to pass. There are some things I want to do about sieges. I'm looking at the battle AI at the moment, not just for the 1648 mod. I'm looking at it for kind of possibilities of changing some of this strange behavior of the AI. For example, here, it's staying at a distance far from the walls, about a distance of musket shot. Not doing very much. That's okay. But then sometimes they sally out, like here, or sally out from the side gate. Instead, when they see my army sallying out, in principle, some of the heavy units could have attacked the walls, but they never attack the walls. Instead, they attack piecemeal the units that have sallied out, and to get to those units, they walk in front of the walls, being shot at by whoever's on top of the walls. That's not too serious in medieval, proper medieval battles. But in the pike shot period, the units on the walls have enormous firepower, and that's not ideal. Anyway, so our general, you can see in the distance with his bodyguard, is shooting at his unit. The general is armed with carbines.
Only intervention by the Almighty.
And I has retreated back into the fort. We took a unit of pikemen out, and the hussars have attacked our pikemen. And so now we've brought them in this way to within musket shot, or even very close to the walls. So we're shooting them with the units that are on the walls. We have 3 companies of musketeers, and they're on the walls. And so this is a way to use our musketeers.
Only half the enemy force remains.
The hussars are attacking our pikemen. Now they've changed their mind, they're going back. What I'm doing here is I have a lighter unit of musketeers, so I take them out. As soon as I take those musketeers out, the hussars come to charge them. But of course I have the pikemen, so they charge the pikemen instead. It's a very cunning plan. So you see now those light early period musketeers are coming out, and as soon as they see them coming out, the Polish hussars are coming this way to charge them, but of course I have pikemen there, so they're going to end up impaling themselves into the pikes of our pikemen. But you have to get it right. They will not attack if those musketeers are not, exposed a little bit. So you have to take a risk and expose them a little bit, otherwise they will not attack. So there is a risk involved in this tactic. It's not a great tactic. I thought I'd do something different this time from the usual thing of sallying out one of the side gates. And So the enemy hussars have charged again our pikemen. It was rather a weak charge, and so that wasn't great for the AI.
Only intervention by the Almighty or a military genius can bring us victory from this.
Don't be so anxious, my friend. So the enemy cavalry is retreating once again. Those hussars are very tough. So you see, it's not an easy thing to fight those hussars. So they're thinking of coming back. There's no reason why they should come back now they're under fire. But as soon as I take those early period musketeers out, they're going to come back. So I keep doing this tactic. So far we're doing okay. So we've killed a lot of the enemy cavalry. We only lost a few pikemen, but we only have that one unit of pikemen. We don't have any more. And we brought also out some double-handers. They are with the pikemen, and they're helping the pikemen a little bit. So the hussars charged our pikemen once again. You have some double-handers here, perhaps you can see them. They are better for fighting in melee. So if the enemy cavalry, like here, they manage to get through the front of the pikemen, now the double-handers can play a role. And I don't know how they managed to get through the pikes. They lost a few of their men, but we also lost quite a few pikemen there. So for the moment, this contest is even. So the hussars are doing okay. You see that unit is almost intact. Some of the other units have lost some men, but that unit of hussars is almost intact. And you see we're down to 88 pikemen. We had a full unit there of about 200. We're down to 88. So it's not going that well for us. We'll see how this goes. If we can't hold them out, we'll have to just barricade behind the walls, but then they're going to attack us. We'll see how this goes. If we barricade again, if we barricade behind the walls, they're going to attack us on the AI turn. And then we'll only have musketeers. So we're retreating our early period musketeers. The hussars charge our line once again. They lost a few horsemen, but not that many. You know, they casually walk through our pikes. Okay, luckily they decided to run off. So they're retreating. They lost about a third of their strength there. But we're also running out of pikemen. So our musketeers go out a second time, or third time, sorry. Go out once again to provoke the enemy cavalry, and the hussars come this way. Charge us once again. Okay, they lost a few more men, but so did we. And we only have that single unit of pikemen, so it's not great at the moment. The battle is fairly even. Ah, now they're doing a sneaky. They're going to try and attack from the side. But they lost a couple of their horsemen from musket fire. To musket fire. Our early period musketeers keep moving back and forth. We are down to about 74 pikemen and 82 double-handers. That unit had about 150 in the beginning, so they're half strength, so down to 74 pikemen. They're doing another sneak again, a flank attack. They're bringing in more cavalry. Oh! Our pikemen are down to 59, our double handers down to 66. That flank charge was very effective. So the enemy still has, I think, at least one intact unit of Hussar cavalry. They're going to do another flank attack. Oh, please rout. They routed at last. These Hussars are silver sovereigns, so very hard to break. They have a high morale to start with. Okay, so we have to reorganize our line and see what we can do. I mean, ideally we want to rout them, because if they stay, then on their AI, on the AI's turn, they're going to attack us. We only have musketeers. They will take the town plaza without any issues. So we have to defeat them somehow. This is our best chance to defeat them here. So our musketeers have sallied out. Strangely enough, the Hussars seem a little bit reluctant to approach now. They don't want to approach. It's a very interesting behavior from the AI.
By St. George, our men have slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
And somehow we've killed Captain Slav or something. I have no knowledge of any Slavic language. So something along those lines. Okay, so we're sailing out now with this unit, which is like a poor man's tertia. That has a lot of early period musketeers, about 50 pikemen, and some double handers. And this one unit we have to try and take on now the Polish army in the open. This normally would be like a joke. The Polish army in the open is very deadly, especially the Hussars. But we have no option, because if they attack us in, they get through the gate with a siege ram. If they besiege us and attack us on their turn and get through the gate with a siege ram, we only have musketeers basically left. We will never be able to defend if they break through the gate. So while they are passive right now, if they will stay passive, maybe with a little bit of luck, if they stay passive, we can start shooting at them. But I'm fairly sure the AI will not accept that. If we start shooting at them, they will come and charge us, and that will be a massacre. So we're moving in small steps just in case the Polish cavalry decide to charge us. So we've gone up this little incline here. We're now level with the Polish cavalry. Oh dear, the moment they start charging, we're dead. Okay, managed to pull off a volley. Oh dear, oh dear. 2 full companies of Hussars. These people are finished. They are finished. They are dead in the water. They are dead as a dead parrot. Okay, we routed one of the cavalry units. We killed Captain Slav something. Okay, our musketeers were routed.
Seems almost certain.
And now we have our double-handers and our pikemen fighting 2 full companies of police hussars. This is just no chance. They are dead in the water. Brave men, you have to fight to the death. Our musketeers have rallied. Okay, only 45 of them left out of the initial 100, whatever it was, 120, 130 or so. And they're not shooting because our men are engaged in melee. This is not going very well, so I'll retreat them, at least save them, those who have survived. And these ones are just going to die. They're going to sell their lives dearly. So they're fighting bravely, police hussars. That's it. A couple more left. They broke him. They're taken prisoner. Just a handful have survived. Really a handful. And that's it. We've got nothing else to throw at the enemy cavalry. Whatever, it's a draw. The only thing I'm hoping now is that... Okay, we're going to take this unit out, see if we can provoke them to come near the walls, because the units that are on top of the walls, on the parapets, can't fire at them, still have ammunition. So if they come towards the walls, maybe I'll try and fire at them with the musketeers on top of the parapets. They're not coming closer. That's finished.
The day comes to an end, and our honor must settle for a draw. There is nothing else we can do at this
So we've lost nearly half our army. The enemy lost 5/6 of its army, so I'm hoping that's enough for them to pull out. But I think if they need to lose 90%, not 5/6. If they lose 90% of their army, they will walk away. But I don't think now they will walk away. Invidia was Wallenstein's motto. That's where my Invita idea comes from myself.
Waiting for a victim.
So they've taken 12 men prisoners. We're in the red because of the other counts, Livonia and Cuirassiers. We cannot buy back our prisoners, so they were executed or whatever. It's a draw. So I guess they will continue laying siege on Strasbourg. And we'll continue with the next battle in our next episode. Thank you for watching.